Hello! How you doing? Sorry I was late. I was cooking a butternut squash curry, closely monitoring the clock in the kitchen, and I thought, yeah, I got 5 minutes to spare. Let's just slowly amble up and start the stream. Turns out I was about 5 minutes late, so sorry everyone. Must get that clock sorted. How you all doing? I've had a lovely day today. Oh, there's the stream chat catching up there. Going crazy. Somebody said Hadouken. I've got a Hadouken here somewhere. Hadouken! There it is. So this is the first day of a man after my middle class heart, you know it. This is the first day of my week off, which isn't really a week off. I did do some work. I got the RMC book back on track. I deleted 9,600 emails from my inbox. Oh yeah. What else did I do? Went for a nice run, which I'll show you shortly. Because I took the opportunity, because you wanted to know how good my new Nokia 3310 was at taking photos. Let me grab it. The mighty Nokia 3310 from 2017. I took a video for you so we can see just how great that phone is. But how are you guys? How was your weekend? What have you been up to? Thank you to everyone who attended the quiz on Saturday night. Another successful quiz, and we'll do it again this Saturday. Ralph is living life like a king. Henrik would like to know how to send a video in. Okay, so Henrik, just email retromancave@gmail.com. Put something in the subject in capitals so that I know it is what it is, and I'll drag it into the correct folder, and then I can pull it out when it's time to do the vlogs. Yeah, the quiz was fixed, says Reese. Monster Joysticks won the quiz, but he very kindly conceded and let Costado, who came second, take the prize. So Costado gets an RMC mug, and there'll be more mugs to give away this Saturday. Yes, and we spun the wheel today. We spun the wheel to see who would get which patrons would get the IBM PCs at a heavily discounted price, which I thought was a fair price, but then I saw the price they started going for on eBay. Second one sold last night for I think it was £380, so that's two for £380. We got another one over £500, so I've been shipping them today. So yeah, but I can tell you that one of the PCs that the patrons won has gone back into the draw because they didn't want to pay for postage down to Australia, understandably. So there will be another draw. I'm just waiting to see what the others come back and say. So today is the letter D. We're looking at your D games. We've got a game room tour from the channel Pints and Amigas. So thank you for sending that in. And tomorrow, I'm planning on doing a morning stream with my morning cup of coffee around 8 AM UK time. And the reason for that is just so that some of our Southern Hemisphere cave dwellers can check in and say hello. Because they're fast asleep at the moment, and some of them have been contacting me, in particular Aidan. So we're going to do an early morning stream, and then we'll get back to the regular time. Gary Ninja, hello, we've just started, so you haven't missed anything. So let's begin with, let's show you my phone, which I had to, so when I filmed, naturally, I just held it up like this and filmed while I was running. Turns out you have to turn it sideways. So I've done some post-processing to rotate it. There we go. Off on my run. Look at the quality of that. Look at the look at the stabilization kicking in. So I went for a cross-country run today because it's been so dry. Oh, cheeky bit of leg there. It's been so dry that the cross-country route has dried out, so I thought I'd make the most of it. So I came into this field and I noticed there was some... well, I didn't notice anything because I could hardly see what was on the screen, but I noticed over the brow of the hill, starting to make me feel a bit sick, there were some cows, so I thought I'll see if it picks them up. And then the train comes along the train line. Let's see if we pick that up. I do stop running in a second. Go. No, I cannot see any cows. Can we see the train? Nope, I see nothing. Yeah, there were a few muddy bits. Dana Adams says, not all of us are asleep. Okay, thank you for staying up to watch. Let's fast forward a little bit. Muddy puddles, you got to jump in the muddy puddles. There's some sky, yeah, there's some green and there's some blue. Oh, hello, Grant. Yeah, this was a route that I hadn't found. I took a wrong turn and found this little place, which was nice. There's a close-up. I thought I'd try the macro. Didn't work. Knock the music down. I can do that. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I mean, it is a nice place. You can at least see that much. I did find in here, hidden away, let's fast forward, I found a rope swing. Of course I had to have a go on it, but I'd never seen that here before. The Larch, says Ralph. Whee! There's an action shot for you on the rope swing. There's some nice flowers. Let's just pause it on the bluebells or whatever they are. The blue flowers. So there you go. That is the quality of my Nokia 3310. Are we impressed? And the video doesn't go on for much longer because it then said I've used up all of the storage space on the phone. Even though I've got a 16 gig memory card in there, I couldn't find a setting to tell it to use it. So brilliant. Which is exactly what I want out of this phone. Let's be honest. It's to stop me being interrupted. I would check my tweets while running on my smartphone and even reply to some of them. That's how much I was connected to everything on my smartphone. So nice to get a bit of headspace. No discarded needles. They used to be in one flat that I lived in. I used to come out and find needles. It snowed one day and the local kids decided to use my dustbin as a sledge, with the bin juice in the bottom of it. That was a nice area. A place called Chard in Somerset. So there we go, that's the Nokia. You asked, I delivered. Let's look at your D games today. Let's look at your Ds. We'll start with Luke. Did he? Oh, he sent a video and some pictures in. So what pictures has Luke got for us? Abab, I think it does. Yeah, it does support cards over 4 gig. Chard just sounds gross. Chard is the home of powered flight. Yes. I know you will think the Wright brothers invented powered flight. There was a guy with a factory in Chard who made an aeroplane. In his factory, you know how you used to get those aeroplanes that swing from your light in your bedroom and they'd go zooming round and round and round? Well, he made a full-size one of those and it took off and it flew round and round, not with anyone in it. So that was the first ever thing to fly itself under its own power, and then the Wright brothers were the first to do powered manned flight. So there you go. It was all downhill from there. So, Luke has sent some pictures of games starting with D. We've got Donkey Kong Country in, I'm not sure if that's Edge or Mean Machine. Not sure. We've got a game that's just called D on the Sega Saturn. Can anyone tell me about this? I don't know this game. We've got Darius 2 and Duke Nukem. Never played Duke Nukem 3D on the Saturn. Don't know if it's a good port or not. Who can tell me about this? It looks like a horror game. Hello Nulani, no you haven't missed much. There you go, there's Grant laying down the Wright brothers' knowledge. Games Master magazine. Thank you, Amiga Bang. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, okay, well, there's another. There you go, it's Games Master. See, that just goes to show that I don't actually look at these before we do the stream. He's opened up the boxes. That's a double disc game. You got the double D there. And picture 3. Hello, Custardo. More of the same. But there are some videos, so let's just knock the volume down because I don't know if he speaks on the videos. Let's see what we've got here from Luke.
Hi Neil, when it comes to games beginning with D, surely D takes the crown. Also got Darius 2, Duke Nukem 3D from my Sega Saturn collection.
Surely D takes the crown. Yeah, but I don't know what it is, mate. Tell me more about it.
And an issue of Games Master from November '94, reviewing Donkey Kong Country. Cheers. Hi Neil.
Hello again. So what was the second video that Luke sent?
Hi Neil. Hi Cave. I just realised that I missed something out of my D game selection, which is my English translation of Dragon Force 2.
Ooh, that looks tasty.
It's got to be up there with the best D games on the Sega Saturn, and even my cat Ollie agrees.
Well,
Hi, Neil. Hi Cave.
If Ollie approves of it, then it passes the test, doesn't it? Let's see if Gizmo approves of it. No, she's sleeping as usual. I did have a delivery from Amazon today, so she had a new box to play in, which she enjoyed very much. Lily says, is D for Vampire Hunter D? You tell me. You tell me. Nulani says it first came out on the 3DO. Disqualified, it's C for cat. So Pixels in the chat has sent in a D game. Not only has he sent in a D game, he sent me a link to a file containing, I haven't looked in it yet, but I think it's pretty much a game for every letter of the alphabet. So thank you, that's a mammoth effort from Ian. Thank you, mate. Yeah, Reese, I'm surprised no Dizzy games were submitted. Let's knock down the volume again so we can hear Ian. This is Pixels at Dawn in the chat, by the way.
Hi Neil, it's Pixels at Dawn here.
Hi Pixels at Dawn.
So I couldn't let D-Day go past without paying tribute to one of the greatest 8-bit characters. I'm speaking, of course, of...
Oh, well, there you go. There's Dizzy. Speak of the devil.
Dizzy the Egg. Now, I've been trying to collect a few of these on the Spectrum for a little while now. I mean, you know it's going to be good because it's by the authors of Grand Prix Simulator, so you can't go too far wrong there.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yes, it's in pretty good condition. You've got actual Spectrum screenshots on the back there. Just have a quick look inside. Fancy prints on the labels there. And of course, the classic Codemasters instructions right inside there. Music by John Paul Eldritch.
I've never heard of John Paul Eldritch.
No, that. And yes, there's very, very many things in here, in very many languages. But yeah, Dizzy. It's a classic. You can't deny. But of course, there wasn't only one Dizzy game. Oh no, nowhere near that. In fact, so let's put that to one side.
Oh, sir, you are treating us.
Treasure Island Dizzy, the sequel. But you had only one life. It was almost impossible, but we still loved it, and it had that fantastic loading screen.
I had that on the Amiga for some reason. My Treasure Island Dizzy experience was a 16-bit one, and yeah, despite the single life, I really quite enjoyed it
at the start as well. And then, of course, a lot of people's favourites. Fantastic World. What am I talking about?
Saint UK says Virgin keeps going down. Neil will see this later. I'm not on Virgin. Are you guys having some problems seeing the stream, or is it okay? Yeah, I have nothing to do with Virgin Media, so shouldn't be any problems at my end. Do let me know if there are any problems, though.
World Dizzy. It's a classic. It's not my favourite, but it is a lot of people's favourites. It has over 50 rooms to explore, so you know you can't do better than that, can you? I think some of these actually have some nice cartoons inside, and also I think.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's people who are maybe on Virgin having problems at your ends. I'm sorry to hear that, but the stream looks to be okay here for me, and YouTube is reporting excellent connection. Look. Excellent connection. Anyway, let's carry on. Actually,
this one does. Magic Land Dizzy, which is my favourite. Not actually made by the Oliver twins, although they did consult on it. But it is my favourite game. It's one I completed back in the day, which was rare as a child. Here we go. Starring Dizzy and featuring Theodore the Good Wizard, Pogie the Truffle, Dora, Daisy with her pom-poms, the evil wizard's axe, Denzel the cool guy, Grand Dizzy the old guy, and of course our hero, Dizzy.
I have to ask our American viewers at this point, have you ever heard of Dizzy? Is this your first experience of Dizzy? Because it's quite a sort of quintessentially English game.
So yeah, that's my favourite. Come at you, bro, etc. So what else have we got? So there weren't just adventure games in the Dizzy series. You also had a few sort of arcadey kind of games, such as Dizzy Panic, or Panic Dizzy as I always call it, probably wrongly. Quite a good fun kind of Tetris-y style game, but not everyone's cup of tea. There was of course Quick Snacks, which is another fantastic puzzle game, probably one of the better arcade games in the Dizzy collection. Unlike the following one I've got, the last one I've got to show you today, which is Dizzy Down the Rapids, which is kind of like poor man's tubing, to be honest. It's not very good, it's too hard, and I barely ever played it, but I've got it. I'm missing a few Dizzies, most notably things like Fast Food and Spellbound Dizzy, but those are more difficult to get hold of.
Yeah, Fast Food Dizzy is the one that the Oliver twins famously wrote. I think they started on a Friday night and they had it finished for the Monday. So they just tried to make a Pac-Man clone, I think, over the course of a weekend to see if they could, and they did, and they released it, and they probably made a huge amount of money out of it.
Experience. But before we finish, here's a couple of other things. A nice Perleby Dizzy I picked up at a show quite a while ago. It's looking pretty nice there. And my pride and joy from my teenage creative years, a nice cross-stitch Dizzy that I put together myself as a lonely teenager. Yeah, zoom you in a bit to the actual stitches if it can pick it up. It took a little while to do it. There you go. But it looks pretty nice, I think. So there you go. A fully fledged adventurer in every sense of the word, Dizzy the Egg. And I'm not going to make any egg puns.
Go on. Oh, he was true to his word. He didn't make any egg puns. Thank you so much for that. Somebody said no mention of Bubble Dizzy. That was a very hard game. Yeah, Mark says that's a hard game. Well, it's nice to know that Ian there, who said that he was a lonely teenager when he cross-stitched his Dizzy, has found his fellow brethren on his own channel and here at RMC. Be lonely no more. But keep up the cross-stitch. So, we've had pixels. We've got a couple of pictures from Ian at Monster Joysticks. And he sent in these as his D games. Now, apparently this is a D game. Can somebody in the chat please tell me what it is? Because I don't read Japanese. Oh, Mark says Doraemon. Everybody loves Doraemon. Doraemon. How do you guys know this? So can you tell me what kind of game it is? It's knowing the PC Engine, it's probably some kind of side-scrolling shooter.
Get ready.
We're nerds. See, I'm so new to the PC Engine system, I'm just learning all of this. I'm really excited because waiting in my postbox at the cave is an EverDrive for my PC Engine. So all of a sudden, just read it off the screen. Do you mean just read it off the screen? I can't see it anywhere. Am I missing something? Is this like a magic eye? Okay, it's the character. Yeah, so I've got an EverDrive waiting for me, which I'm really excited about. I can just instantly have all of the PC Engine games locked and loaded. Well, all of the HuCard ones. So I will get to know these games better. And Doraemon. Oh, Doraemon. Doraemon.
You're doing great.
Everybody loves Doraemon. Yeah, I'm not big on my Japanese cartoons outside of Pole Position. Cities of Gold. What else? Point Google Translate at it, yeah. Okay, let's continue. His other D game is one that I definitely know. Can we rotate? Oh, it's several games. Look at those special effects. We got it spinning. The Dig, I loved The Dig. It had the most amazing orchestral soundtrack. Just a real nice atmosphere to the game. One of the LucasArts games that are less raved about compared to some of their others. But I love it. We've got a Double Dragon there on the... Is that on the Atari 2600 or 7800? Can't see, but I imagine it's... Come on, that's got to be awful, hasn't it? That's got to be awful on that platform. Dark Forces, incredible. After the wow moment of Doom, you know, other companies started to catch up and produce things that were even more brilliant. And to have it in the Star Wars universe with all the sound effects from the Star Wars games and everything, and the cutscenes, loved Dark Forces. Donald Duck, the Lucky Dime Caper. Don't think I've played that one. I played a lot of Mickey Mouse on the Mega Drive, but not Donald Duck. And what we got down here? 3D Dot Game Heroes. 3D. Just about. I've not played that one. Come on, that's a PS3. How modern is that? Castado says Double Dragon is pretty amazing for what they achieved. Okay, I take it back. You know, I know the limitations of the system, so if they've worked out an imaginative way of pulling off Double Dragon, then fair play to them. Yeah, Dark Forces was amazing. I'm not on Virgin Velociraptor. I don't know. Talking about the D, talking about Virgin. You're a bad influence. Tim's letter D. Oh, it's a video. I thought it was a picture. Right, let's bring up Tim's. Tim, a regular contributor to these streams, so thank you, Tim.
Hi there, Tim here. I've found it quite easy to choose a letter D from a retro point of view because Dig Dug is my favourite arcade machine. So here I've got a couple of versions. Well, it's actually the same game, just two different boxes on the Apple II, which is a nostalgic machine for me because it was my third machine after a ZX81 and Spectrum.
Castado, you'll have to be quick if you want to send in some D photos. Yes, go for it, mate.
They're both actually sealed copies, which I didn't expect when I bought them off eBay, but that's how they came, and so far I've been too chicken to open them up. And I have a number of other versions because I love the game. I tend to buy it for systems that I acquire.
All of the Dig Dug.
and I hope you'll indulge me today, because letter D was quite hard, just generally beyond that, because there's so many great games starting with the letter D, but I couldn't decide between two franchises. One is Dark Souls and From Software, which I've sunk a lot of hours into and on different platforms and played through quite a few times, all three of them. And the other one is Diablo, which right from the first PC game to the Switch version, Diablo 3,
Thoroughly
I've
modern,
really
more on
enjoyed
the
and
Switch
put a lot
now.
of time into. In fact, those two games are probably, other than MMORPGs, the two games I've sunk the most time into. And yeah, they're all really fantastic games. I'll see you in the E's.
See you in the E's. Thank
Okay.
you, Tim. Yeah, Dig Dug's a classic, isn't it? One of those arcade machines, if I'm lucky enough to see one in the arcades these days, I will go and have a little go on it. Just like Mr. Do. I'll always have a go on Mr. Do if I see that in an arcade. Awesome. And sealed copies as well. So that's Tim's D games. We've got Chris G's D game is the final D game. I haven't filmed one myself, but I might bring up a picture to show you my choice of D game. Here's a familiar face. Oh, I'm doubling up on the audio. It always happens. It always happens on one stream. Sorry, everyone. What I need to do is install Voice Meter. Yeah, anyone who does streaming will know about that, which gives me a virtual device so that I can split out audio channels and not have to manually click on things to stop this doubling up. Anyway, a familiar face is Chris, so let's see what he's got to say. Talking about DJ Spoon. No, it was Echo, wasn't it? It was DJ Echo. Jesus on Ease doesn't count. He will be upset. Spoony was the coder, wasn't he? Echo was the musician. Anyway, let's carry on.
This is Chris from Discord. My alphabet selections are Dune, or Crayo's
strong
Dune,
choice.
released by Virgin Games. This is an RPG based on these books by Frank Herbert. I really love the books. I was really excited to play this game on the Commodore Amiga. And then on a Saturday lunchtime,
thank you.
ITV had a programme and they showed footage of the PC version, the CD version on the PC of this game.
Mumbo says Virgin. Yes, it was published by Virgin. Look, it's all coming together now, isn't it? Chris is behind the Virgin outages because he pulled Dune off of his game shelf.
And rather than a 2D sprite scaling to show you flying over the landscape in an ornithopter, they showed 3D rendered graphics for that similar sequence, and it blew me away that this was possible on a CD on a PC. So when I eventually got a PC, I had to have this game. We love it. Can't wait for the Denis Villeneuve movies. Hopefully coming sometime in the next decade, who knows, considering the current situation. And a quick selection also is Dreamweb.
Oh, another good choice.
Set in a slightly dark dystopian future where your character is set the task of assassinating a number of bad characters who are apparently corrupting civilization, or the civilization at that time. You're given puzzles. You have to try and get to the people, get the right tools to attempt to kill the people. There's a twist towards the end. It reminds me quite a lot of a similar game that came out quite recently. A game with you wearing a pig mask and ground slaughtering people. So, anyway, this is really great. It's Dreamweb. Fantastic game. Highly recommended. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Two really strong game choices, and somebody there in the chat mentioned how good this soundtrack is. It was Eshktar. Thank you very much, because that brings me on to something that I did want to show you. Yeah, we'll come back to that page, which is our good friend Banjo Guy Oli did a cover of the Dune soundtrack. If you're not subscribed to BG Oli, go and subscribe, because he does the most incredible video game covers. Here's a little blast. Plays about 50 instruments. that's Banjo Guy Oli. I might have to ask him actually if he might let us use some of his music for the quiz. We can do another, guess the music like we did with Gaming Muso on Saturday. So there you go, I'll stop that before he puts a copyright claim on my channel, but that's Banjo Guy Oli. Well worth a sub. It really is talent, yeah. Very talented man, and also very talented in his electronics repairs as well. He does a lot of arcade PCB repairs and all sorts of other stuff. There's nothing the man can't do. So if you want to feel inadequate, go and subscribe to Banjo Guy Oli. Before we come on to Pints and Amiga's game tour, there was just something that came up that made me laugh today, which was that other web page we saw, which was a lot of people apparently are having strange dreams while in lockdown, or even more vivid dreams, and my thinking behind this is probably simply because their brains aren't being as stimulated as they normally are, perhaps, if they're stuck at home. So their brains are compensating by giving them not just anxiety dreams, which is understandable given the current situation, but really, really vivid ones. I don't know if it's happening to you in the chat, if you've been doing that, but here's just a little clip that made me laugh of some examples. We'll do it without audio. So people are dreaming metaphors for the virus. Swarms of bugs coming at them is the most common, because bugs is a term for infections. They're dreaming about tidal waves, tornadoes. Pause. Oprah Winfrey is coming after people with a chainsaw. It's quite a leap from tidal waves to Oprah Winfrey coming at you with a chainsaw. So has anyone had a dream? Is Oprah the new Freddy Krueger? Has that happened to you? Grant had a dream last week that he was in a tornado. Yeah. Oddly specific, yeah, it really is. Bjorn thinks that sounds like a nice dream. Well, if that's what you're into.
Congratulations.
Anyway. That's enough dream chat. Let's go to the game tour. Velociraptor has turned into Blade Runner there. He's dreaming of electric sheep. So, Pints and Amiga are a YouTube channel, and hopefully we'll get to see a nice behind the scenes video. Let's see what they've got for us.
Hey Neil and all the cave dwellers out there, this is Jack from Pints and Amiga, and Taylor here.
Hello Jack.
Too, but he's off camera. We wanted to submit a little tour of our cave.
I will do that, Grant. I will put a link to the channel up shortly. I just want to watch this first.
And Taylor is going to take it away and basically give us a little tutorial of everything. All right, here's Taylor.
So, hello Neil and all you cave dwellers out there. I hope
Everyone say hello to Taylor. Hello Taylor.
everybody's doing good. I guess I'll be your virtual tour today and kind of give y'all a show around of our studio and man cave and kind of work area. So join me around here and I'll kind of give you a look at everything. This is our studio.
Forget the studio. This is our Jägermeister collection over here.
Here on this side. Big screens, of course. Got the 4000
wow,
pumping.
That's a proper studio setup.
All of our different machines. Dad's station's kind of over here for when we do streams and
Cheeky shadow of the Beast box back there.
stuff on every Saturday. Our main workhorse, the 4000 here with all its glitz and glamours. She has her top off most of the time anyway. Because we're constantly in her transferring files and things to her SD hard drive.
Please, phrasing, Taylor.
Next up, we have the 600. This one is green.
She-Hulk 600.
She is nicknamed She-Hulk. And let me just open her up there, and you can see all of her juicy insides. Fiora, custom ROMs, Indivision ECS Mark II with the 604N memory expansion. So she's got
wireless keyboard and mouse too.
Wireless keyboard and mouse as well. Some adapter for that. Custom built harnesses for there. Here, the Red Beast is, maybe we should call it Red Hulk, maybe. Is the MSX2 that I bought my dad for Christmas this past Christmas. It's got a Mega Flash ROM in there with SD capabilities on it. Then up here we have our Vampire 500. So I'll give you a little sneak peek at that. And you can just kind of see this Vampire there. Bam. Wireless keyboard adapter for it too. We've
so much
got a
kit.
kind of
So nice.
rigged up external GoTech for us. Mighty Might here, our custom PC ATX power supply to power
the Vampire.
Power the 500 and the external GoTech.
Vampire's 500 wireless keyboard.
It's got a nice little floppy rail on it. Then here, back up over on this side, we have the Dreamcast. Completely customizable.
Heavily modified.
Heavily modified. Dad'll jump around over there.
Speaking of Dreamcasts, I'll have to see if you've done a mod video on that to see. Or I'd like to know how you've modified it, because Mark fixes stuff in the chat, and we are concocting a future video when the lockdown is over to create our ultimate custom Dreamcast. We're going to really pimp one out, so I'm looking forward to doing that with you, Mark.
We have a
that's a modified Dreamcast, big time.
we have Dream IDE with CF.
Oh, they're going to tell us. Thank
Loading
you.
up Dream Shell on that side.
All of our games come from CF
Yes.
cards.
Dad rolls around back over here. It is sitting on top of our custom external SCSI chassis and custom power supplies.
Now this I have seen you do a video on, and this is well worth watching. Really nice build. You need to check this one out.
So it's got a PC power supply in there, modded with two
Behave, Dave.
Amiga 5-pin rails. So there's one right there. Nice and long.
So it can power two Amigas at the same time.
Two Amigas, got two accessory rails on it as well. So there you go.
And has SCSI and all of that stuff built
And
into
it
it.
has a SCSI CD-ROM and an external SCSI to SD
Card.
card on it. So that's kind of the
Production.
production side of things, machine-wise.
We've got some big box software. We've got some big box Amiga software. A few titles here and there that I've collected that I found in a box that was archived up in a closet that I'd forgotten about. Most of my software is on digital storage. Xbox One. And then we'll roll back out over here with Taylor.
On the way out, we'll
Whoa,
show
whoa, whoa,
you,
whoa, 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 whoa! Hang on. Let me just reverse that there. We have a collection of skulls on a spike. Could we have a little bit more information on the skull collection over here, please? Thank you.
On the way out, we'll show you. Here's kind of the main.
Explain this tower of power.
So this is kind of the main
brains of the whole operation.
Main brains of the whole operation. Okay, the mod just changed. That's why. So audio switcher, basically serial switchers, straight through serial switchers for port 1 and 2. As you can
Joystick.
see,
So this is so we can switch from multiple machines.
all at one time.
During a stream, we can switch off from the She-Hulk 600, the 4000, or the 500, or any other machine we have right here, at any time during the stream and switch from machine to machine seamlessly.
HDMI switch box.
Remote controlled.
Remote controlled. Splitters.
Scalers.
VGA switch box, because The She-Hulk and the Dreamcast are both VGA.
VGA. So
Our big scaler down there.
Damo, that's Sonic.
So, yeah, there you go. That's
and then our mixer.
Behringer mixer as well.
Behringer
Nice, very nice.
mixer.
What have you got on there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inputs? 6 inputs? No, that's your master. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inputs. I think you got 5 XLRs and some phono inputs. Anyway, I won't geek out over the mixer.
With a radial DI box right there. Make sure everything's good. And that's kind of it on this side. So let me carry you on to the workbench.
Carry on.
So
Workbench.
Our workbench and kind of, I guess you could say, rework station area and stuff is kind of under construction at the moment. We've got a couple of projects on the bench now. 1200 accelerator that we're working on for a buddy of ours. Fully working.
I am drooling, Ralph. I
A600
am
motherboard.
drooling.
Had to do some touch up on a expanded 4000 daughter card.
Daughter card, the new one by RNet. Perfectly working and good to go.
Solder
Spares,
station,
600,
desolder station.
600,
That's a solder station for our British viewers.
soldering gun, rework station, SDM work, all the goodies.
All the goodies.
So we could pretty much do everything. Tons of new storage that we just put up a couple of weeks ago. So all of our top storage, a couple of junky PCs that we're going to do some things with. 2,000 cases, tons of Amiga motherboards mainly in various states of disrepair. One 3,000, several 2,000s, a 1,000 that is in critical shape over there, and then our 3,000 that needs to be put back together with its custom painted
Look at that paint job.
paint job.
Now that case is not purposely done like that. It was purposely done like that.
So
It was patinaed, made it look like it went through a junkyard and survived a junkyard. The whole survivor thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
That's kind of
the main
cool.
case for the 3,000. Got a other like hot yellow one that's not out here right now that we're working on too. SCSI CD for it, but it's fully working. One day, hopefully, that'll be our Amiga file server.
Yep.
All of our monitors, we have plans to put in tons of scalers and stuff for monitors.
Gotta have the tape measure on your desk. Always a tape measure.
And of course, if you're under construction, you have to have a tape measure.
Have to have a tape measure.
So let's wrap around this way. Just some pile up from construction
Goes
here.
on. It goes on and on.
Dad's bench, where he does a lot of our WinUAE OS work that we then transfer over. File transferring is done mostly here. All that sort of stuff. Nothing spectacular in terms of specs. Pretty middle of the road, but it gets the
Oh, he's dissing. He is dissing Dad's rig. I wouldn't stand for that.
job done. And then
In fact, you can have a bit of this.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
What are you looking at, butthead?
finally, our little prop setup for
The
our 1200.
1200. Yeah, this is the bench that once things are finished, time for the OS to get loaded,
Things like
fine
that.
tuning, stuff like that.
So the 1200 is relatively stock. We've got an accelerator on loan to the buddy that's having his worked on. So she's good to go, fully operational. She's got an in-division AGA in there, custom ROMs, Galfix,
Wireless keyboard.
wireless keyboard adapter,
Yep.
or USB keyboard adapter to be more specific. Some adapter, of course. So yeah, that's kind of it. So I appreciate all of you cave dwellers for coming and seeing our virtual tour of our studio and workroom. It's a lot to take in. If we
Sure
wanted to go
is.
into detail on everything, we'd be here until 2020 Christmas. So I hope y'all enjoy, and thank you, Neil, and all you cave dwellers
Be safe out there.
and be safe, and check us out every Saturday.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed seeing behind the scenes there because I'm a regular watcher. There are more regular viewers than me, but I try to catch them whenever I can. There's always that time zone problem of catching them. But so nice to see behind the scenes, and I didn't realise what a professional setup you had going on there. That is so well thought out and put together. 10 points for the monster joystick hiding down there. So let me get a link to their channel, and I would urge you all to go and give them a sub. Let me go and find them. Because I know there's a lot of Amiga fans out there, and you've seen the quality of their kit there. Vampired, custom paint jobs, absolutely everything. Here's a channel link coming in the chat now. There we go. Go and give them a sub. I'll give you 30 seconds to go away and sub and come back. Well worth it. Well worth it. Even if he is dissing his dad's rig. And look at all the freedom in the room. We've got the American flag up there, loud and proud. And 2 of the most comfortable looking gaming chairs you've ever seen. Well done, thank you for subbing. It really is a quality setup, isn't it? Really, really nice. So I will watch them with a newfound enthusiasm and respect, knowing that they're flicking those switches and tweaking those knobs to give us the videos that they are. A lot of space, yeah. A lot of you said, is that a garage? Is that a basement? What is it? Most of the American channels that I watch, like the Amigos, they just seem to have this excess of space available to them. I mean, I know I'm talking as the man with the retro man cave, you know, with all the space that I've got, but it still seems like nothing compared to the space that these guys seem to have. It certainly doesn't seem to be as much of a premium as it is here in the UK. Right, so tomorrow... Oh, hang on. Costado said he was possibly going to email in a last-minute photo for the D games. Let me just check that, see if anything's come through. Sent anything in? Oh, we've got two last-minute ones. We've got one from Sheepy Tina, and we've got some pictures from Costado. Let me download these. Appreciate the last minute effort. Keep you in suspense while I download them. So that's Costado. And let's get Sheepy Tina's. She sent 3 attachments in. They're all photos, so they're nice and quick to download. This is my concentrating face. Asking for D-pics is trouble, you know it. But we've made it through. Okay. Here are Costado's choices. Donpachi. Is it Donpachi 2 or is it 2 versions of the same game? Let me go back and check the email. Let me actually read what he said to me. Donpachi and Dodonpachi. There you go. There's that excellent Japanese pronunciation from me again. I'm sure I'll be corrected. Oh, I see. You're talking about everything is bigger in Texas. 74 square meters. Is that how big they said it was? Yeah, that's big. That's big. So Matt says Donpachi is the first one. Dodonpachi is the second one. What can you tell us about it, Costado? Looks like a shooter. Looks like a side-scrolling shooter. I'm pretty sure I've played it at some point. The first one, anyway. "204 meters is Pints and Amiga's house." Yeah. You're looking at a cool £1 million at least for that sort of thing over here, surely. trying to remember. So my cave is 30 meters squared. That's how big my cave is. And when I lived in Paris, and I scraped it in on I think it was a 10-meter square apartment. And I thought I was the king because I had a separate bedroom and lounge, whereas most of my friends had a lounge with a pull-out sofa bed. And that cost me a fortune. If you're appalled by Neil's Japanese pronunciation, wait until you hear my accents. Yeah, you got it. Not today. Anyway, let's see what Tina had for us. 3 pictures. Here is the first one. Darkstalker and Drakengard. PlayStation games. Now I saw Dave mention earlier in the chat, Velociraptor. He was saying that he feels that a lot of console-based gaming content on YouTube almost assumes a level of knowledge that a lot of us that grew up with micros don't necessarily have. So it's always interesting when I do a console, when I cover a console or console games, because I have to do a lot of research to get myself up to speed, and so then I do try to explain it to people like me who don't necessarily have the knowledge of all the rare games and the franchises and all the rest of it that is often assumed. Yeah, I agree. But they probably feel exactly the same when they come and watch micro channels. There it is. It's obviously an ex-Blockbuster video rental. Oh, this one's Darkstalkers 3. Is that what we were looking at? Yeah, it was 3. Carl says franchises are king on the consoles, yeah. And then we got a little view of the manual there. Lost Child of the Lust. The Ghastly... something? Insect? Princess? Can't quite read that word. Prince of Darkness. Mistress of the Night. Wasn't Elvira Mistress of the Night? You can't take Elvira's title. Come on. Tastefully taken on a Star Wars tablecloth. So thank you for those last minute entries. Excellent stuff. So, tomorrow's going to be an early morning stream, about 8 AM, morning coffee for our friends in the Southern Hemisphere and anyone else who wants to join me over breakfast. But it does mean I need some content pretty quickly. I've got a couple of e-games. I don't think I've got much else. I've got lots of other games, letters further down the line. So, if you want to take a quick game room tour, if you want to do a show and tell, anything at all that you want to send in. The letter tomorrow is E. I was going to just show you quickly, actually, wasn't I? A game that I chose. I'll just show you a quick screenshot. My choice of D game, because I've got to choose one, haven't I? See if anyone remembers this. Oh, hang on, we'll get the advert out of the way. You don't want a gambling advert. Okay, my choice of D is Die by the Sword, which got slated by critics, absolutely panned. But the unique thing about it was, do you remember Virtual Pool when it first came out? You had the pool cue, and you would use the mouse to take it back, and then you would slam it forward to hit the pool cue, to hit the pool ball. And it was like a really nice way of interacting with the game, and it worked really well with pool. Well, in Die by the Sword, it was exactly the same. You moved the mouse around, and that moved his shoulder. So you were literally just sort of wanging his arm around, really madly, and hoping that you would catch things. The critics hated it. I really liked that level of interactivity. It almost felt tactile. You could almost feel the slices. I would dread to go back and play it now. It's probably awful. But yeah, you can just see kind of how wildly his arm is swinging. Swordwanger 2000, yeah. And that supported the 3DFX. So there you go, that's my choice of D game. So yeah, get your videos into retromancave@gmail.com. Hopefully we'll get some in, otherwise we'll just have a brief chat and then we'll move on to the next day. Castaldo says there was a Jurassic Park game which was similar. Doom, yes, we went through the D-Day without any Doom. I'm almost impressed. Anyway.
Warrior, need food badly.
I need food badly. Curry's ready. See you tomorrow, 8 AM BST. Take care everyone, have a lovely evening. Bye from me. Bye from Gizmo. He's waving. Thanks for the sub.